Hello my beautiful blue hearts. Let's learn how to do Christmas ornament Christmas cards. First I want to get Faber-Castell pens. These pens are water resistant once you use them with the watercolors. For the paper I use Strathmore watercolor paper, and these are the paints that I'm going to use today. So I have these metallic watercolor paints that I got from Amazon, and I also got these from Amazon. All of the materials you see today will be from Amazon. Next, you want to take your pen and you want to decide what side of the paper you want to use. But you can start your doodles. Alright, so this is what we're aiming for today. We're making Christmas ornament Christmas cards. Now you can get cardstock or the watercolor paper that I mentioned. This is the paper that I'm using today, is the watercolor paper, but cardstock will work also. Okay, I've decided what side I want to use, and now I'm going to start my doodles. Alright, so in the center here, I'm going to do just a circle. And it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, that's okay. So there's my first little doodle. And I also want to mention that the pen size that I'm using is 0.1. But you can use just about any pen size you want. But for this project, I'm using 0.1. Alright, so then on top of that, I'm going to add more doodles. And you can do circles, you can do hearts, you can do just about anything you want to do. And I'm going to do these squished ovals. So that's what I've got so far. I'm going to create two more, one for each side. Okay, once you get your doodles done, you can come up to the top of each ornament and just draw a line to the top of the paper. Just like that. Now you want to make sure that your pen work is dry. It won't take very long, but once it's dry, it'll be water resistant and you can paint over it. So just give it a minute to dry and then you can start painting. Okay, now that it's dry, you can take these paints and paint over it. Now, this is called a wet on wet technique. You wet the paper. Make sure you have a cup of water here. You wet the paper with your brush. And you put the water where you want the paint to go. So you might want to leave a little bit of a highlight on each of the ornaments in like the same spot where the direction of the light will be hitting the ornament. Alright, so I'm going to use jewel tones because I love the jewel tones. Alright, so here we go with the purple. And you see how the paint just kind of spreads out automatically through the water there? I love that. Alright, and there's my highlight. Now you can leave more open white space if you want. It doesn't have to be just the one spot. But you do want to have like a central kind of area where the highlight is on each ornament so it's uniform and you can tell where the direction of the light is coming from. Now, these ornaments, they don't have to be perfect. So, let's not aim for perfection here. We're just aiming for fun. And it's really cute. Look how whimsical and pretty that is. Alright, on to the next color. So again, just adding the water first, and then you add the paint. Okay, and I'm going for a green this time. And again, just leaving that little open window for the highlight. Just adding a little bit more pigment in there. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry and move on to the next. Alright, once you have all the ornaments in place and painted, you can let it dry a little bit, or you can just come right in and paint on these other little bits that you need to fill in with paint. Now this part, I don't usually do the wet on wet, I do the wet on dry. So the paper's dry and I just come in and apply the paint directly. And since I'm doing jewel tones, I'm going to do a turquoise or a teal color. And if the paint is still wet and bleeds into the teal, don't worry about it, that's okay. And you don't have to use the colors I'm using. But if they bleed into one another, that's okay. It actually, I think, adds a little interest, so that's okay. And it lets people know that you used watercolor, which is cool. Alright, so I'm just going to come in and do it on these other ones too. And the green and this turquoise or teal is getting blended together a little bit, and that's okay. That's okay. And it's going to happen down here with the pink too if I allow the paint to touch, because it's still wet. Yep, so there it goes. It's gonna blend, and that's okay. Alright, so without tilting too much, that's what it looks like so far. And we're just going to keep going on the rest of those little open spots. Okay, I've got everything filled in, so now we can move on to the string on the ornament. Now, you want to get your metallic paint for this. We're just trying to let the paint over here dry for right now, so we can focus on these strings. Alright, so choose what color you want of your metallic paint. I'm going to do, I think I'll do a silver. Silver and jewel tones go really well. So I'm activating the paint with water, getting it good and juicy. I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to see how I'm holding my paintbrush like this. And with however much pressure I use is how big your dots will be. So if you really push down, the dots will be bigger. So you can just barely kiss the paper with the brush and make little cute little dots. Or you can push a little bit harder, and it's more of like a big peck on the cheek. It's whatever you choose. Alright, so now I've got those dots in place, and now we're going to let the paint dry some more, and then we can come in with the metallic paint and do a wash or other little accents on top of the paint that we've done. Okay, the paint is dry, so now you can add your accents and use your metallic paint to do that. So I've already gone in and I did some polka dots, I did some little swoopy lines, and then I went over the center ornament in all silver. And so see, it looks purple there, but then you can also see a shimmer. So you can make these for your friends, your family. You can put them on cardstock. You can put them on watercolor paper. You can frame them as gifts. You can give them as cards. And I hope you do this, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Have fun. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for fun and just, relaxation. So, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays, and enjoy. Take care.